It's 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Belinda De Lasheras with 2NURFM Hunter News. State Labor says it'll fund its $303 million Hunter Roads commitment from its $10 billion infrastructure plan for New South Wales. If elected on March 28, the ALP will commit $5 million to planning for the next stage of the Nelson Bay Road duplication, with $80 million set aside for construction. Shadow Roads Minister Michael Daly says a further $30 million will be set aside for detailed design and planning works for the long-awaited Singleton bypass, with money also matching the government's commitment to improve road pinch points around the region.
This is a fully costed, fully funded and fully deliverable plan for Hunter Roads and infrastructure. And the important and simple message is this: Labor will build these projects, and we do not need to sell the electricity network to do so.
The Awabakal Local Aboriginal Land Council is about to put a spanner in the Baird government's transport works as they lodge an appeal against the refusal of their land claim for Newcastle's inner-city rail line. It took the government just over a month to reject the claim last week, despite the discovery of around 5,700 sacred Indigenous artefacts and remains at the site. But Awabakal Deputy Chair Richard Green says commuters will also bear the brunt.
It's caused havoc in Hamilton. The kids with their surfboards, their push bikes, get off and on trains and buses, and you can't even get across the railway line because of traffic. And it's just unbelievable, and the quickness of that land claim.
Meanwhile, Hunter lobbyists are calling on the Premier to include more details on public transport in the region as part of the Coalition's commitment to the issue in broader New South Wales. The Keep the Hunter on Track group believes Mike Baird should reinstate services to now closed rail stations in Newcastle in accordance with a recent parliamentary inquiry's recommendations. Spokesperson David Blythe says the city can't cope with the added stress of the rail line's truncation.
While we're copping a bit of a tough number in terms of the port and the loss of rail services, the whole state is under threat in terms of losing its assets and the ongoing dividends from them. I think it's a bit of a crying shame, quite frankly.
Schools across the Hunter are being promised more counsellors and an improved quality of teaching under a re-elected Baird government. The Education Minister visited Mayfield East Public School this morning to announce a $400 million funding boost as part of 2 statewide programs. Adrian Pickley says it'll make a big difference to the learning environment.
What that means is more dollars to support students, whether it's making sure the best teachers in the school are there to support them, or that there are counselling and wellbeing services to support students, a new behaviour code to make sure kids know exactly what's expected of them. All of this is about improving the results that kids, like kids at Mayfield East, get, to make sure that we improve their school results. That's exactly what the students need and exactly what their parents expect.
The state government has unveiled its plan to rejuvenate recycling in Newcastle, introducing reverse vending machines designed to dispose of cans and bottles more effectively through the container deposit scheme. They'll be placed at popular hotspots including parks, beaches and waterways around the city from July 1 as the government looks to better tackle litter and increase recycling. Environment Minister Rob Stokes believes the food and beverage industry will embrace the idea.
Our message to industry is we want to work with you to design the scheme to work effectively for your aims as well, but fundamentally we're not here to serve the interests of big business. We're here to serve the interests of the community, and the community have told us loud and clear that they want a clean environment, and this is a practical way we know from evidence overseas works. It works effectively and successfully, and that's why we're doing it here.
There's calls for a mobile phone black spot in Western Lake Macquarie to be urgently repaired. Martinsville residents are pushing for the phone companies to replace or improve the existing towers following a run of patchy service. Charlton MP Pat Conroy says it could prove a matter of life and death for residents in a state of emergency.
There's one road in and out. There are a number of small bridges that you have to cross creeks to get in and out, and so if anything happened, it would be very unfortunate. The key is that we don't alarm people, but we work with the community and run a strong campaign with the federal government to reduce the risk of anything happening by very strong support for things like mobile phone towers.
In finance, the All Ords is down 36 points at 58.14 and $1 is buying 76.98 US cents. Updating sport, the Newcastle Knights will look to continue their winning mindset in round 3 of the NRL following their 16-14 defeat of the North Queensland Cowboys. Teenage talent Sione Matautia is continuing to sell himself to the club. Coach Rick Stone put him into the Townsville game, switching skipper Kurt Gidley to hooker. Gidley says he'd be prepared to shuffle his roles to accommodate the young gun on field.
I see him as a long-term player at the Newcastle Knights, and we need to have him in the team somewhere. So if that means for me going from fullback to hooker deep Clydesy arrest, then I'm prepared to do that. I think it'll work today.
In Newcastle Rugby League, fullback Nathan Ross scored 2 tries, helping to secure Newcastle a 32-16 win over Newtown Jets in the New South Wales Cup. And there's speculation Newcastle Jets assistant coach Mark Jones could take the top job for the Central Coast Mariners. His 18-month contract with the Jets makes it unlikely, but one-time Jets assistant Arthur Pappas is among a string of others rumoured to be in line for the position. 2NURFM News Time is coming up to 1:06.